talking like this, we can sing Hare Krishna. Please go ahead, Srija, to sing Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Go ahead and sing Hare Krishna, anybody. I'm doing live, so I was in another window. I could not come on Zoom.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Thank you. Kabir, you want to sing Hare Krishna? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Mataji?
Yes, Radha, you want to sing?
Yes.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mataji, can I sing?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
1 second, Mataji. Sorry, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. So Vrinda wanted to sing. Okay, sing. One time only.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Very good. Okay. Ramachandra.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Hari bol. Very nice, Ramachandra. Mukund, you did not get a chance. Mukund.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
So somebody else is remaining. Yes, Abhigya.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Wonderful. Samskriti.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Wonderful, Samskriti. Jahnavi, are you there? Okay, Jahnavi is not there. So everybody got it.
Mataji, I'm here.
Okay, sing Hare Krishna, Jahnavi.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Wonderful, Jahnavi. You did a super job. I'm so proud of you. Okay, all the kids, very wonderful job you did. So, what are we learning? Which chapter are we in? Which canto are we in? Are we in? Can anybody wanted to say? Which canto? First question goes. Which canto are we reading?
Third canto.
Third canto. Very good, Jahnavi. You are so good. Okay, which chapter?
Chapter 13.
Chapter 13.
Wow, chapter 13. Okay, very good. So, what is the chapter name? Chapter name. Recently, we have celebrated that. And also, yesterday, you guys drawed also.
Varaha?
Varaha appearance. Okay, very nice. So how does the Varaha appear? Who wants to say me the story?
The nostril of Brahma.
So first Brahma was
Only 1 point each.
okay. But I want to say, so when Brahma was sitting somewhere or doing something, he sees and Varaha like went out of his nose, came out of his nose.
The mouse came out of his.
Mouse? Yeah. Mouse came out of his nose and then he went straight to the where he was seeing if people are doing bad stuff and he found
Stop. You are not saying correct story.
and he killed Hiranya.
Okay. Okay. Anybody wants to take a chance of saying the proper story? Radha, you want to say Varaha appearance?
Okay, Mataji. So, Varaha appearances were like Hiranyakashipu, his brother Hiranyaksh. Hiranyakashipu tried to impress his brother, so like he did all these things. And meanwhile, Hiranyaksh, you know the Prahlad story, like that's a different one. So, but Hiranyaksh went and he went to like destroy and all this stuff for his little brother or big brother. So when he did all the heavenly planets, then he went straight to the ocean,
Perfect.
and then Varahadev appeared because he lifted the earth and threw it somewhere into the ocean, into the ocean. So then suddenly Varahadev appeared, and then they had a big fight, clubs, hands, swords, like everything. Then finally Varahadev cut his head. From that, Hiranyakashipu's story starts. Like he becomes angry and then,
Yeah, very nice.
Hare
Very nice.
Krishna.
Thank you for the story. Okay, which is the avatara number? We have the Shavataras, right? Which?
Three.
Vrinda is correct. It's a third avatara. Okay, anybody knows the song of Varaha?
Me. Mataji, can I say this is Bharavinda?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Mataji, please give me a second. I will say, or I can say, Mataji, this is.
Hare Krishna.
So, Mataji, I will say, Mataji, Vaha Sida Shara Shakare, Darari Davalagya, Yashidi Gare Vari Bagya, Ishabadrita, Sugar Ruba, Jigadish Hare, Jagadish Hare, Jagadish Hare.
Thank you so much. I think Radhika Kasturi Mataji is there with us. Mataji, please take over, Mataji.
Balavrinda, for entertaining all of us.
No, Mataji, we are just having question and answers. I don't know what to do. It is already, it is becoming late.
Yes, Mataji, I was in a meeting. So sorry.
No worries, Mataji. You are
Yeah.
coming and teaching. That's great.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for bearing with me. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurummilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyamati Bhashyayata Deshatharini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gauravata Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear kids. So today is a very important session because we are trying to complete 3.13 of Bhagavatam. Very interesting. I happened to read this chapter and I wanted to share with you some of what I have read. And so maybe we can have a good time discussing through the story. And then if you have any questions, you can definitely ask me, and then we can get it clarified. Okay, so I'd first like to summarize, and then we can get into our slides for today and have a discussion around it, and also be doing moral stories. Okay, so are you all ready for that? Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. All right. So let's get started. So now we are talking about Brahma's creation, isn't it? We just spoke about Brahma's creation, and it's such a complex process, isn't it, to create. So Maitreya had described the subject at length, but Vidura, he was not at all satiated, meaning he wanted more. Oh, I heard creation, but I want to know more. I want to know more. It's not fulfilling for me yet. My heart is not satiated. I just want to hear more Krishna Katha. So he loved hearing about the Lord, and he wasn't tired yet. So some people, they get tired, isn't it? After doing a little bit of jogging, some physical exercise, or some heavy lifting, what happens after that? We all get tired, isn't it? So like that, if you were to ask whether Vidura was tired hearing,
today you are not doing share screen.
No, this is just a recap, Mataji.
Okay. I was thinking maybe you forgot. I just want to remind you.
Oh, no. Today's my portion. I prepared the slides, but what has happened so far, because my slide is just a concluding slide, meaning it's the prayers. So I'll be, sharing the slides later, but this is just to summarize kind of what has happened so far. So that's kind of where I'm going with now. Okay.
Mataji, you're on mute.
One second, my son is just calling me so many times. I'm sorry, kids. So now, Vidura, he was not at all satiated. He heard so much of creation. So creation process is so complex. Even we can get tired, isn't it? Because we're all sadhakas. We have not perfected yet. So sometimes sadhakas also may get tired hearing Krishna Katha. But Vidura, being the pure devotee of the Lord, he was not at all satiated. He wanted to hear more and more Krishna Katha. So what happened after that? Vidura asked the next morning, after he and the sage had bathed and completed their morning duties. He asked Maitreya, who was in a sitting place. After Manu and his wife appeared from Lord Brahma, what did Manu do? Like that he asked. Vidura asked who? Maitreya. And then Maitreya said, he kind of smiled and chuckled. And we all know Manu was a great devotee of the Lord, said Vidura. So it must be very beneficial hearing of his sublime character and activities. So we must hear from pure devotees about pure devotees. Vidura smiled, looking at his spiritual master with affection. Pure devotees, why should we hear from pure devotees of the Lord? Because pure devotees of the Lord are always thinking about the Lord's lotus feet within their heart. Vidura felt he was the recipient of great fortune, and hearing from a pure devotee like Maitreya was a great fortune for him. That's what Vidura thought. So now you're all able to understand, right? So he wanted to understand about, so Manu is a great devotee of the Lord. So whatever he must have done is going to be beneficial. So I would like to know about his character and activities. Would you mind explaining me? So this way, Vidura is asking who? Maitreya. So I'm just reading from the translation, dear kids. So far, what you mean, because today is the concluding session, you all must know what has happened so far. Okay, there is a conversation that is happening between who and who? Between Maitreya and Vidura. And both are pure devotees of the Lord. So Vidura is very, very eager to listen about Krishna Katha from Maitreya because he was a pure devotee of the Lord. And what do pure devotees do? Pure devotees always think about Lord's lotus feet 24/7. Kirtaniya Sadaharihi. That is what the pure devotees are meant to do. And that is what is being done in the case of Maitreya as well. So he wants to hear. Vidura is so anxious. I want to hear. He was not satiated. He heard about Krishna Katha. That is about the creation process, and he was not satiated hearing. He wanted to hear more and more and more. So this is what is happening so far. So now, what is his inquiry about? His inquiry is about Manu. Oh, Manu, he's a great devotee of the Lord, isn't it? I want to know about his activities and his character. Would you mind explaining me, Maitreya? Thank you so much. Like that, we have Vidura inquiring from, Vidura is inquiring from who? Maitreya. And about who? About Manu. Okay. Maitreya remembered how Krishna had his lotus feet on Vidura's lap while resting. So can you all imagine? Krishna was so close to Vidur, right? And he was having his lotus feet on Vidur's lap. So that much close he was. At the thought of Vidura's great fortune, his hair stood on end. Imagine, he just thought about this for a minute. What did he think? He thought about Krishna's lotus feet being placed on the lap of Vidura. And then what happened to him? He felt so good about it. Because of that, ecstatic feelings came to him. What is ecstatic feelings? Ecstatic feeling is the feeling of spiritual joy. When a spiritual joy, when you have spiritual emotions, then what happens? Hair starts to come on the end, top. Hair is, hair stood on the end. That was the symptom of ecstasy. Now, grateful for each other's company, they sat down to begin their discourse for the day as the morning sun shimmered on the green waters of the Ganges. So now, it's like you guys have popcorn in hand and you started to watch a movie. How thrilling would it be? Like that, we have Vidurji trying to eagerly listen to Krishna Katha from the lotus mouth of Maitreya, who is a pure devotee of the Lord. Maitreya explained that Manu and his wife had humbly approached Brahma with folded hands like this. This is folded hands, you all know, right? And asked how they could serve him. How can we serve? How can we be at service? This is what devotees ask, isn't it? How can I be of service? We should not have a competitive spirit on the service. See, when it comes to service, we just have to be instruments in the hands of Lord Krishna. Again, we should not fight for service, right? I mean, if two devotees are there, should not compete. Service is service. Krishna will be pleased when you actually have, we should have this compassionate nature. If some other devotee has not done service for a long time, and if that devotee is hankering for a service, and if you are also hankering for a service, then we must actually give that service to the other devotee, because knowing his situation, Krishna will be pleased even by you sacrificing the service for the other. But what happens is that our material mentality kicks in all the time and we start fighting for service. So in some cases, we have to see the position of the other devotee, and then we have to sacrifice our service for the sake of other devotee. And in that process, Krishna is actually going to see how big your heart is. and he's actually going to reward you with a bigger service opportunity. But unfortunately, we just are stuck with this material mentality, because of which we don't even want to let go of, or we want to snatch each and every opportunity, because that's what pleases Krishna. We are doing it with the right intention. There is no harm. But at the same time, as we advance, we also should kind of have a broader mentality to kind of look at it from the perspective of serving others as well. In the sense, some devotee might not even have had a single opportunity to serve Lord Krishna or the devotees, right? In such a case, how much hankering would that devotee be having to serve somebody, isn't it? To serve the Vaishnavas. But you may have had plenty of opportunities. This might be maybe your 50th opportunity or 60th opportunity, God knows what. In that case, it's okay to let go of that service to the other devotee so that he can have that bliss in the service. To be happy for the other devotee is also a very, very nice thing. It's definitely subtle, but it's definitely very nice. So we should be broad-minded. To, if two people are competing for a service, it's okay to let go of the service for the benefit of the other. This attitude has to somehow creep into our heart, and that way we actually become broad-minded devotees. So this is something that we have to definitely learn. And here we see that how Manu and his wife, how did they approach Brahma? Even though Brahmaji is his father, right? He could have just been like very casual. Oh yeah, Brahmaji, hi, hello, how are you? No, they didn't do it. They just had folded hands, and then they just asked Brahmaji, how can I be of service to you? Brahmaji, he smiled with affection. Of course, son and father relationship is very special, isn't it? When we go and approach our father for something, the father is always ready to do anything for the son. That is always, even in this material world, any father, if a son lovingly goes to him, hugs him, and tells him, "Up, Dad, you know what? I want this." Immediately, you're granted whatever you want. Especially, you go with a smile and you give him a hug, you give him a kiss. Everything is done and taken care of. And here, Brahmaji is also very pleased. He said, "I'm very pleased with you, my son." When will a father say he's very pleased? If a son has good conduct, then the father will say, "I'm very pleased with you." That was the case here also. "I want only blessings for you and your wife." What a good example you guys are setting. Very nice. You've approached me and you're ready to do whatever I ask of you. It is important that one adores superiors and happily accepts and follows the order of the father. See, I'm very, very happy with whatever you're doing. You guys now, you're setting a very good example. And you're also always obeying the orders of the superior, and you accept and follow the orders of me as well. So I'm very happy. I'm perfectly 100% happy with you guys. My son, I ask you to have children. Now, since you're asking me this question, I just want you to know, I probably request you guys to have children as qualified as yourself, right? Rule the world in devotional service to the Lord and worship him by performing fire sacrifices. This is what I want of you. If you can protect the living entities in the material world, that would be the best service for me. And Krishna is going to be very pleased with you as well. All work that we do merely is a useless labor if Lord is not happy. It is our highest self-interest to please him. So Shrama eva hi kevalam happens if Lord is not happy. Any service we do, if Lord is not happy, if the Vaishnavas are not happy, then that particular service is Shrama eva hi kevalam. Say, for example, if you are trying to actually agitate others and pick up a service opportunity whatsoever, is it going to please the Vaishnavas? The Vaishnavas are not going to be happy. Even though you're trying to do a service, if it is done in a very brutal, rude, mean way, that service is not pleasing, isn't it? And that service is not liked by the Vaishnavas. If the Vaishnavas are not happy, Krishna is not going to be happy. So the point that Brahmaji is trying to say here is that all work is useless labor if the Lord is not happy. So we have to be really careful. And also it could include any kind of materialistic activity which is done without the motive to please Krishna, right? Without having Krishna in the picture. If you do any activity, that activity is Shrama Evahi Kevalam. No, not at all. Good. So we also have to be careful about how we have to please Vaishnavas. And if Vaishnavas are not happy, Krishna is not going to be happy. And all the materialistic endeavors that we perform in this material world, if we don't include Krishna in the picture, then Shrama Evahi Kevalam. So how are we supposed to say, for example, I'm working, right? And you may ask this question, Mataji, you're working. And how are you pleasing Krishna through that act of working? How is it? How is it that you're pleasing Krishna? This is not directly pleasing Krishna, isn't it? You're doing your, coding. You're doing your project management. What has this got to do with Krishna? How can you, how are you saying you're into Krishna consciousness that way? So every activity, when done with a motive, see, for example, if you're taking my situation, I'm working. Yes, I work. And if I'm dovetailing my work to Krishna, how am I dovetailing my work to Krishna? Say, for example, I have a family, right? I have to support myself. First of all, I have to have food, water, shelter. So for me to live and for my Vaishnavas, for my Vaishnava family to sustain, we need a house. We need a living. We need to eat on a prasadam. So how are we going to get it if I'm not going to work? So if I'm dovetailing all this in the service of Krishna, so say, for example, I definitely have this desire to go to yatra. How can I go to yatra without money? Isn't it? So even the act of brushing my teeth requires brush. We can't get it for free. I need to purchase it. So everything like that, if we think about it from a perspective that this money is used in the service of actually raising my children who are Krishna conscious, raising my family who are Krishna conscious, who are into this process of Krishna consciousness, and using it in the service of the Lord by going to different places, using the vehicle. For vehicle to move, you need gas, and gas costs money. Of course, it's very expensive, isn't it? So all this requires money at the end of this day. And when we try to actually use it in the service of Krishna, that activity of you performing the work is also Krishna. It's secondary Krishna consciousness. It's not direct, but it's indirect. Okay, so that is the point. So we have to remember what is Shrama Evahi Kevalam here. Shrama Evahi Kevalam is whenever the activity is not pleasing to Krishna or the Vaishnavas, that activity is not at all. It's not worth performing that activity. It's like negative. I will do as you say. What did Manu respond in response to Brahmaji saying this? I will do as you say, said the dutiful Manu. But then he hesitated and looked around. Father, where am I and children to go? The earth is underwater. It is in the Garbhodaka ocean. How am I supposed to perform? How am I supposed to actually perform the duties that you mentioned? Seeing the earth submerged in water, Brahma thought how it could be lifted. How can now Brahma has to actually bring back the earth, which is underwater? So even as the creator of the material world, he felt helpless. He thought of the Supreme Lord and depended on his mercy. At that moment, a small boar came flying out of his nostril. He was only the size of a upper portion of the thumb. He immediately flew into the sky, and within moments, he grew as gigantic as an elephant. Lord Brahma, with the great Brahmanas like Marichi, as well as Kumaras and the Manus, watched with the mouth open. Okay, who's this? One asked. This must be some extraordinary entity pretending to be a boar, said the other. This is amazing, said the other. How wonderful that this being has come from the nose, cried astonished Brahma. As Brahma, upon seeing this, how can I come from my nostril? How astonishing is this? I can't even believe with my own eyes what is happening here. So he just had this desire that somehow Lord should protect and make the earth come up because it's submerged in the Garbhodaka ocean. And he can do this particular act of bringing up the earth from the Garbhodaka ocean. So he immediately had this desire, let Lord save, right? So the point here to remember, kids, is that whenever we are going through some sort of a difficulty or some sort of dilemma where we don't know what we need to do, we immediately have to take shelter of Lord Krishna. Krishna is the savior. He can do wonders. He can make the possible impossible. He can make the impossible possible as well. So we need to always take his shelter and remember that he is the only savior. He can be the only one who can save us out of the misery. Nobody else can save. Have this complete conviction and have this complete determination to always go and approach him no matter what. Okay, so this is what is the understanding. First, this boar was only as big as the tip of a thumb, and now he's as big as a boulder. He was just this size, and now he grew up so big and he became the size of a boulder. So this is really confusing everybody. What is going on? Are they seeing some magic here? Can you all imagine, kids, what's happening? This is no joke. You see some teeny little creature and then it's blowing up out of size and proportion. So everybody is getting confused. They're all becoming bewildered. You all can imagine, isn't it? So could this possibly be Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu? There's a possibility, isn't it? It could be Lord Vishnu. Maybe Vishnu can only do miracles. As their musings continued, the boar roared a mighty roar, which rumbled like a grand mountain. Again he roared, this time even louder. And what happened as a result of it? You could hear his echo in all directions. That was the catching point. When he roared, it was just not ordinary. It echoed everywhere. On hearing this auspicious sound, the great sages and the thinkers of the higher planets, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, felt what? Enthusiastic. And they began chanting the auspicious chants from the 3 Vedas. The boar flew in the sky, flashing his tail hither and thither, his hard hair squirring in the wind. He scattered the clouds with his hooves and glittering white tusks. What a mighty sight this was. He glanced all the chanters and roared again in response to their chants. They were not at all afraid. The boar's pleasing glances encouraged them to chant even louder. So they could understand, sometimes when we hear inauspicious sounds, we get really scared and we get bewildered. We get confused. Oh, this is inauspicious. Something bad is going to happen. But here with the sound of the boar, even though it is louder, it is echoing in all directions. But the sages knew, yes, this is definitely an auspicious sound. And hence they chanted mantras, Vedic mantras. They knew this was auspicious. They knew, they actually became enthused. They were not like dejected or they were not lamenting because it was inauspicious. They knew this is auspicious. And hence they started to become so enthusiastic and began to chant the mantras with enthusiasm. You can see the difference, isn't it?
Mataji.
Radha, we will have to wait for a little bit, baby.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay, Mataji, but it's about the Vedas.
Yes. I'm going to come back to you, Radha. So just we will, because it's just time already. I'll finish this part and then we can have question and answer session. Is that okay? Thank you, dear. So now, we have an overall idea. So first of all, the scene is between Vidura and Maitreya. So Vidura and Maitreya are in the picture, and Vidura, he was not satiated, meaning he wanted to hear, even though he heard about creation, he wanted to hear more of Krishna Katha. So he comes to Maitreya, who's a pure devotee of the Lord, and asks Maitreya, I would like to hear about this guy Manu, who's a great devotee of the Lord. I would like to know about his character and his sublime activities. Would you mind please telling me? He humbly
Mataji, who asked this?
Maitreya asked Vidura, and this is about Manu, he had asked. And so in between, what is happening here?
So
is
Maitreya?
Yeah,
Vidura
he asked
asked
Maitreya. Yes.
Maitreya asked Manu.
Who's this?
Sorry, not Manu. Sorry,
Who's
Vidura.
asking?
Sorry,
Who's asking this?
Varun.
Oh, sorry, Varun. So this is first Maitreya and then Vidur. Vidur is asking Maitreya this question about Manu. Okay. And now Manu is so now we are going to describe about the activities of Manu, what all he did. So for that, Brahmaji is coming into picture. Brahmaji is saying, he's appreciating Manu, saying, you are a very good son of me. You are very, very good. You act as a good role model. So whenever a son is perfect, the parents praise, isn't it? If the son is not in good behavior, the parents try to correct him. Again, it is not criticism of the son. We have to understand it is for the benefit of that son, because he will be actually ridiculed and he'll be put in a very critical situation if he were to go outside with this behavior. It is not at all good for him. So in order to get his behavior straight, parents will ask him, chant the glories of the holy names of the Lord, do the service of the Lord, come to Krishna Katha, come and hear Krishna Katha, so get some good messages. All this is for the benefit of the son or the daughter. So we should take it very seriously, because that is the only way we can get purified. And the purification is needed, because otherwise our heart will be filled with impurities and we will not be happy. The purpose is everybody wants to be happy, isn't it? And Krishna only can give us happiness, because he is the ultimate reservoir of happiness. The one who has happiness only can give you happiness. So if you want to be happy, then you have to serve the Lord. And that way, the happiness that you get through the service. And this service has to be done in an unmotivated, uninterrupted way. And for that, your heart needs to be purified. So we definitely need to have a purified heart. So the Brahmaji is telling Manu, you are a very good son. You act as a great role model. So now Manu is asking, can I be of service to you, Father? That too with folded hands he is asking. Okay, remember this etiquette of him using his folded hands and how respectfully he was to Lord Brahma. So with his folded hands, he's asking Brahmaji, how can I be of service to you? And then Brahmaji is saying, what all he said? He said, you have to rule the world. First of all, you have to get children as qualified as yourself, and then rule the world in devotional service to the Lord and worship him by performing 5 sacrifices. So if you can protect the living entities in the material world, that would be the best service for me. So what is protection of living entities? That means to give Krishna consciousness to them. That's when they don't repeat the process of birth, death, old age, and disease, right? So if he has to protect the people in the earth, then the earth, first of all, is not there. Earth is seen in the Garbhodaka ocean. So now he's telling Brahmaji, what is this? You're telling me to protect the people in the earth, but the earth itself is underground. It's underwaters. It's in the Garbhodaka ocean. How am I supposed to protect? Can you please give me a way? Can you help me out in this situation? I'm not trying to disobey your orders, but at the same time, if the earth is underwater, how can I protect the people? And how can I, give them Krishna consciousness? How can I rule them? So please tell me a way. So now Brahmaji, he immediately thought, he just prayed to Krishna, Krishna, please help me. I really don't know. The earth is underwater and I'm just supposed to, pray to you to get help with regards to the situation. So now Brahmaji is praying. And then we see from Brahmaji's nostril, what is coming out? From Brahmaji's nostril, we have a boar coming out. It was teeny tiny in size. It was just this much. And then it became so big. After that, everybody was surprised. What's going on? Is this something? My eyes, is it okay? Am I seeing something that's that's really not supposed to be seen, or what? Or is it true? Is it real? Is somebody pretending to be a boar? This is amazing. And Brahmaji was like, how wonderful that something is coming out of my nose. How can a boar come out of my nose like that? Brahmaji is wondering. And somebody was saying, oh, this could be Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. Like that. Okay. And now the sages, as you can see, they're not at all bewildered. Instead, they are all enthusiastic. Right? They're all enthusiastic hearing this auspicious sound. And now, so very important thing is going to happen. So this divine boar dove into the water, splitting the ocean into 2 high waves, which look like arms desperately reaching into the sky. Please don't cut me into 2, cried the ocean. Please protect me. The boar penetrated the water with his hooves, traveling deeper into the inner depths. He saw the earth at the bottom of the ocean, lying, lying there. With his mighty tusks, he carefully scooped up the earth and swam to the ocean surface again. Oh, how splendid this sight was! However, when he came out of the water, a demon named Hiranyaksha fought with him with all his might. So demon Hiranyaksha is coming into picture now. What is he doing? He's going to fight because he didn't want the earth to be taken out of the water. So he is having a good fight with the boar incarnation of the Lord. But the boar killed him just like lion kills an elephant. His cheeks and tongues were smeared with blood. For the Lord, nothing is impossible, isn't it? So he just smashed Hiranyaksha and, he was killed. The gigantic boar then lifted the earth on the edge of his white tusks and then turned bluish hue for all to see. All doubts were finally removed. Aha! Called out the spectators. All of them are watching the scene, isn't it? Imagine what sort of bliss they would have got upon Hiranyaksha being killed, upon the earth being recovered. This is Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is Lord Varaha. They immediately offered their obeisances and heartfelt prayers. So I'm going to share my screen now. But before that, I'll just complete this particular section of the translation and then we'll go into my slides. They described each part of Lord Varaha's body as the origin of all things in the material world. The earth is your wife, they said, and you're the Supreme Father. These are all the prayers that are being said about Lord Varaha. What all they said? Earth is your wife, you're the Supreme Father, you're potency in the earth, just as the priest puts in sacrificial wood by the power of mantra. No one but you could deliver earth from water. We're all sure, you're the Supreme Lord and you're the Supreme Father, you're the Savior. You are the one who's capable of protecting and bringing the earth back. And nobody else can do this. Because you're the Supreme Lord, you're only capable of doing it. And you have the potency to do it. Even though we are inhabitants of the upper planetary systems, because these are all the sages, we have been purified by the water sprinkled from your shoulder hairs. So just like when he just came out of the water would start to sprinkle, right? They felt so good that the water that touched the body of the Lord happened to sprinkle upon them. Okay, so very important. Maitreya described that after hearing these beautiful prayers, the Lord gently touched Mother Earth with his hooves and placed her on the surface of water. He returned to his own abode after that. Vidura laughed gleefully hearing this story and Maitreya smiled. So now Lord happened to finish this pastime and he happened to go to his own abode, that is Lord Varaha's abode. And then Vidura, upon hearing this, he was so happy. See, upon hearing the Krishna Katha, he felt so happy. Some people now, when parents ask them to go join Krishna Katha, go. Oh, mom, oh, dad, what do you mean? It's nice weather outside. I'm supposed to enjoy, have fun, go to the park and play. And you're telling me, go attend a class? No, not a good idea. I just got back from school. Can you understand my feelings? This is all good for you, dear kids. You'll not understand it now, but later as you go through and as you mature and as you come to college, as you probably take up Krishna consciousness more seriously, that time you will understand. I'm blessed to have such great parents in my life who actually fostered and helped me nourish my Krishna consciousness.
Mataji,
yeah.
I want to show you something.
Yes. Who's this?
Varaha.
Oh, Varaha. I'm not able to see.
Mataji, teacher's drawing Varaha.
Oh, nice. Great job, Srija, I'm sorry. Can you all see, kids? Mataji, can you spotlight? So
yeah,
good.
I did that, Mataji. We can see.
Great. You drew it yourself, dear?
Yes.
My God, mind-blowing. Krishna and Vaishnavas are so pleased. Definitely he'll be pleased, dear Srija.
Mataji, Mataji.
Yeah.
I'm writing notes, but
You're
then
writing
I don't know how.
Huh.
I completed one whole page.
Oh my God, you're all astonishing me with all your beautiful works.
But then I wrote on the back, and I started a new page.
Oh my God, you had so
What
much
are you
to write.
writing in that? What are you writing?
Notes,
I'm writing the notes. Yeah,
class
notes.
notes, Mataji.
Which notes? Class notes only, right?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
Yeah.
Mataji is speaking, that you are writing?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Can you post that in the group?
Okay.
Are you there in the WhatsApp group?
Yeah, my
You
mom
also
is in the
post
group.
it, Shrija.
Please post that.
You can
Shrija
color
already
it.
posted that. Shrija
Oh,
posted
Shrija
that.
already
Mataji.
posted it. Okay, okay. Wonderful, dear.
Param, you please post it. Other kids will get encouraged. I wanted to see what you wrote in your book. Okay, wonderful.
Thank you, dear. Thank you so much. Good job, Shrija and Param. Very, very good job. See, this is how we take inspiration. Okay, we just see other devotees and other kids, and we also, even if we are not listening, if our mind is going hither and thither, so we see Param writing notes, and because of which he is focused, and we also try to actually incorporate it in some fashion or the other. If not one page, we at least write half page. And Shrija is taking time to actually picturize and enjoy Varahadev, right? So this actually gives nourishment to our senses. So it's very important, okay? Now, after presenting the prayers, what happened here? Vidura is laughing gleefully because he was satisfied, okay? And then Maitreya also smiled looking at Vidura's reaction. After that, Vidura, he gently said, do you know anyone who hears and describes the pastime with devotional attitude pleases the Lord? Vidura raised his eyebrows. A simple, enjoyable activity this was. To hear the story was all needed to please the Lord. Can you all believe it? This was also service to the Lord. Hearing Krishna Katha, can you all make a note of this point in your heart? Hearing Krishna Katha is also service to the Lord. If you're actually looking for service opportunities as kids, if you hear the class attentively, that itself is service to the Lord. So we have a very good example, Param here, who's trying his best at this young age to actually write so much of notes. I happen to start writing notes at a later age, right? I mean, now I'm so astonished seeing young kids who are writing notes, and I know, unbelievable. I'm just not able to actually proceed with the class. And Maitreya continued, Vidura, the highest achievement is to have Lord Krishna pleased with you. Nothing else matters. So the highest achievement for our lives is that we have to please Krishna. Whatever it takes to please Krishna, if we can all take it into our hearts, oh, somehow or the other, I have to please Krishna. If you can take this message to your heart, that is good enough. So anything anukul for Krishna, anything favorable for Krishna, if I can do, that is perfection of life. So tell me, Vidura, who other than one who's not a human being can exist and not be interested in the goal of life? If he is a human being, he has to be interested in this ultimate goal of life, isn't it? If he is not interested in this ultimate goal of life, and if he refuses to hear the nectar of Krishna stories, which can remove all the who can refuse the nectar of Krishna stories, which can remove all the miseries? Now, if somebody says, oh, I don't want to hear Krishna Katha, I'm not interested, I'm not at all interested, don't force me. So the message here is that, so this Krishna Katha can remove all the miseries. You probably are in anxiety, and if you hear Krishna Katha, you will not be in anxiety. So the point is that Krishna Katha, if, see, some people are always agitated and some people are always like looking for some resort to be happy. And this Krishna Katha can remove all the miseries and make you blissful. What more do you need? Why do people refuse? When Maitreya posed this question to Vidura, Vidura had no answer. He could not think of anyone foolish enough to reject such wonderful opportunity if they knew the powerful effects of hearing of Lord Krishna's pastimes. So anyone who has, nobody can reject such a proposal to actually get to the ultimate goal of life. And the perfection of life is to please Krishna. If somebody can reach to this goal, that is the perfection of life. And hearing Krishna Katha, it resolves all the miseries. It never puts you to anxiety. It actually removes the anxieties that people have. So if one can actually attain that state, who would reject such an offer? Only a foolish person will do so. And whoever does that, that person is a foolish person. This is the end of the story. And now Radha has a question. Go ahead, Radha.
Actually, I also have a comment too.
You have a comment. Okay, go ahead.
So the question is, why
Hmm.
there are only 3 Vedas? Aren't there 4 Vedas?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they recited the 3 Vedas. You're right. But there are 4 Vedas. Yeah. Rig, Yajur, Sama, and Atharva. You're right, dear.
Okay, Mata. But
Huh.
was there at that time no?
Huh. What is that?
Was there no 4th Veda? And the
No,
other
no, they didn't chant the 4th Veda. You're right. They just chanted the 3
and
Vedas.
Mataji,
Hmm.
when I was
Correct.
thinking of this thing, I don't know why I just made this thing.
Huh? Oh, you made something, Radha? Show it, dear. What is that? Can you explain? How they were fighting with each other? I can see that. Hiranyaksha and Varahadev fighting. And
like
then
the sages, all the like the
all
kind of
uprising. Okay.
yeah, like they're like, wow, what a scene, what a sight. How do they do these?
I know. What am I seeing? It was a small boar like this and became a big creature. Oh my God, what is this? Am I bewildering? It's bewildering. I don't know. I don't understand. That's the scene that you're portraying. Very imaginative.
And this is a small Varaha.
Oh, that is a small Vara.
It looks like a dot.
Oh, such
Radha,
imagination.
your presentation, your creativeness is always very awesome, very nice, and it thrills me. I still remember your Gajendra presentation. That really
Yes, I still have those papers.
wonderful. And also every time when the activities you do, also you add your creativity in that. Thank you, Radha.
Welcome, Mataji.
Wonderful. Oh my God. You're all really more. Today I didn't even share my PowerPoint yet, but you guys are.
ఎట్లా గుర్తుందో చెప్తున్నా, ఎట్లా గుర్తు-
And
Okay.
Mataji and all of this praising, like it's 7:10 already.
I know. Today we got through the entire session. I also have moral stories, but just wait for me. I'll just at least share a few slides here so that you can see what's up, okay? So that you can all, because I prepared the slides. I do. I do.
Mataji, can I show you something?
Yeah. Go ahead, dear.
Mataji, Vrunda want to show something, Mataji.
Yeah, go ahead, dear. Go ahead, Vrinda.
One second, Mataji. I am stopping your share screen and then
Yeah. Go ahead. Go.
This is Bhakti Yoga writing. I wrote it from the Bhakti Yoga book.
Yeah, she is reading Bhakti Yoga book, Mataji. This book, where is the book?
Oh wow! Oh my God, Vrinda, I wanted to tell you one thing. Your handwriting for your age is so good. Have you all seen Vrinda?
Mataji, I had a friend named Rashmin. He moved to Dallas, and he
Oh my
writes
God.
very nice. He writes very nice, and so I learned from him.
You are able to do cursory writing. Can you all see Vrinda's cursory writing and how neat it is? This is really admirable. I can't see it from here,
She's
Mataji.
reading this book and she's writing.
Oh, Mataji, can I show you the page? This is the page.
I'm not able to. Okay. Wonderful. Hats off, kids. Very nice. Beautiful.
Can I show you something, Mataji?
Yes, Shrija.
Mataji.
Huh.
Mataji.
What is that? It's Krishna?
I to tell
Krishna.
Yeah, little Krishna. Very nice, dear Srija. Yes, go ahead.
Mataji.
Nenu,
Mataji.
I made
Yeah,
it.
Param. I think Param wants to say something. Go ahead, Param.
Yeah.
Huh.
Mataji, actually in my school, after I come to school, I do my homework and then I come. I do my homework and I do arti and then I read for 45 minutes. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then I go back to class, so I don't go to park anyway.
So that you don't like to?
No, I don't go to park any day.
Oh, you don't go to park any day. Krishna will take you to the park in the dreams or in the.
I mean, I don't want to go.
You
I don't want to go.
You're like Buddha or Narad Muni at their young age.
Yeah,
They just,
this is my handwriting.
Param, I'm not able to see for some reason. I think I have to set gallery view. Okay. Oh, wow.
Mataji, now I
Also-
spotlighted.
Good, good.
What did you
Parag.
wrote? Can hear about you devotee. I want to just read it. Just want to read. I'm so amazed with your attention. You know, I have a lot of things to learn from you.
I'm just writing literally like Mataji, I'm hearing what you say, and I'm writing what I hear. Like example is like you like you said about the what you said about the son and the father quality. I really like those qualities because I think that's really important to say.
Yes. How old are you, Param?
9.
Wonderful. You've not even reached double digits,
Yeah, I
but
play
single
Mridanga.
digit,
I play
and
Mridanga too.
you play Mridang. Where are you located?
In Delaware.
Okay, wonderful.
Wonderful. Please post that in the group, okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
Mataji will be very happy if
It
you post.
encourages other kids also. When you do these things, right? Seeing other
Wonderful.
kids, you
Yeah.
will get encouraged. So tomorrow
Yeah.
I'll see
Thank you,
Mukund
Mataji.
writing or somebody else is writing from the class by inspired by you.
Yeah, good job. So let me just quickly, I'm not going to take any further time. We've already discussed. You can all see the pictures, right? Varaha and Hiranyaksha fighting with each other, okay? So this is that particular picture. And so here we see that, he's being praised. Varahadev is being praised through his prayers, saying, your wife is Mother Earth, and who else can accomplish this task, of retrieving the earth from the water. So and then they were so happy because the Lord's Charanamrit actually fell on their body. So they felt so good. And so this is how they said they will get purified, because touching the body of the Lord, this water actually touch them, and that water is going to purify them. So they were so good.
I have to go.
Okay, Shrija, bye dear. I'm just going to maybe take 2 short stories, but yeah, you can go. You can listen to the recording. Yes, Abhignya?
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, dear.
In the photo, how come Varaha and Hiranyaksha are like the same height? Like Varaha supposed to be
Okay,
the size
these
of
photos, this just for you to kind of get a perspective, but in reality, it is completely different. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. And then Falashruti, since you've all listened to the pastime, what are you going to hear? What are you going to get? You're going to actually get you will feel devotion. So because one Lord becomes very pleased with you, and one who hears and narrates this pastime with devotion, he is definitely going to get devotion to the Lord. Okay. So now we all understood the question that was posed, right? What is difficult for a person who pleases the Lord? The Lord personally gives him the own abode. So he's going to give him, see, if he's going to please the Lord, then he's going to give his Goloka Vrindavan will be given to you as a gift. You can be a resident of Goloka Vrindavan and you can have relationship with Krishna. What more does a person want? So hence you should never refuse to hear Krishna Katha. So this is the message, kids. So I just wanted to conclude this presentation by just sharing a few slides with you. Hope you're all happy. And now is our important section of going into Tenali Raman's pastimes. Where is Advait? Advait? Are you there? Since I'll be asking you for slides, you're not showing up or what? Remember, kids, I asked Advait to kind of share some slides of Tenali Raman with me, and he's not to be seen now. But anyways, I prepared a few stories. Okay, so let's probably have a few kids read it, and then I'll kind of summarize it at the end. Okay, so how about Aditya? Can you read this, dear? Are you able to see, dear Aditya?
I think he just left.
Oh, he just left. Okay, Varun, can you read? I'm not able to hear you, dear. Varun, can you hear? Okay, Mukund wants to read. Okay, go ahead, Mukund. I'm not able to hear.
Once, when King Krishnadev had gone to survey the jail, two burglars who were prisoners there asked for his mercy. They told him that they were experts at burglary and could help the king in catching other thieves.
Wonderful. Thank you, dear. And then we have amazing Janavi. Come on, amazing Janavi.
The king, being kind, really asked his guards to release them, but with a condition. He told the burglars that he release them and appoint them as his spies only if they could break into his Tenali Ram's house and steal valuables from there. The thieves
Wonderful, amazing Janavi. I can hear Krishna on the background. Now I'll read. The same night, the two thieves went to Tenali Raman's house and hid behind some bushes. After dinner, when Tenali Raman came out of the stroll, he heard some rustling in the bushes. He at once perceived the existence of the thieves in his garden. After some time, he went in and told his wife loudly that they have to be careful about their valuables as two thieves were on the run. He asked her to put all the gold and silver coins in a trunk. The thieves overheard the conversation between Tenali Raman and his wife. After some time, he carried the trunk to the well in the backyard of his house and threw it in the well. And the thieves, they all saw this. As soon as Tenali went in his house, the burglars came to the well and began drawing water out of it. They kept drawing water the entire night. Almost at dawn, they managed to put out the trunk, but they were shocked to see the stones in it. This is when Tenali Raman came out and thanked them for letting him sleep well at night and also watering all his plants. The two thieves understood that Tenali Raman had outsmarted them. They apologized to Tenali Raman and let them go. So, what can you all understand from this story? So this is the story where the thieves are all trying to dig out water and they are trying to actually take the water out and they try to pour it on the plants and trees around here. Okay. And what did Tenali Raman do? And what you all can learn from this particular story? Anybody? Smriti, go ahead.
Mataji, from this story, I could learn that for me, what I understood was Tenali Raman. He got the thieves to water his entire garden for him. So Mataji, I think even in a bad situation, you can still make something good come out of it.
Yeah, and you know what? Okay, I have another point as well, but I'll let others to talk. Abhignya, go ahead, dear.
So Mataji, so what they did in the story was like in the beginning, the kings, he wanted two thieves to be his spies, so he sent them to steal stuff from Tenali Rama's house, and then Tenali Rama, he outsmarted them by putting stones inside a box and keeping it in the well. And he made them all water his plants, but I think now they're pouring water back into the well because that man in the red turban is pouring it back.
Yeah, wonderful explanation. So can I all tell you something also? So now, see Tenali Raman, how did he outsmart? He outsmarted in the sense that he was able to tell that these guys are actually watching out, and he was clever enough to actually tell a lie, right? Basically, he lied and he said, oh, let me put all my jewelry and everything into this particular trunk and let me just throw it into the well. But when in fact, it's because he knew these thieves were overhearing the conversation. That's how he outsmarted them. So basically, he understood the thieves were watching out, but still, he had to use his intelligent mind, and this is the way he acted, because having understood the fact that thieves are watching, he said, yeah, let me just collect all the jewelry and everything, put it in the. He was just trying to say a lie to his wife, and the thieves overheard this conversation and obviously believed Tenali Raman's words, and then they were fooled by it. So this is how Tenali Raman is always, he uses his intelligence in all circumstances. If you look at his stories, you can always see his intelligence, how smart he acts in different situations without actually getting panicky or anything like that. So that's that story. Can we just do another quick story and then wrap it up for the day?
Mataji.
Yes,
Okay.
Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Yes,
So,
Mataji.
who's this Ryan? Ryan, you probably did not answer. So the next.
I know. I just got a choice here. I got
Ryan, you have to next answer my question, okay? You be ready for it. Once upon a time, a lady, I'm actually sorry, kids, I'll probably rush through this and then next time we can have somebody else read through, okay? Once upon a time, a lady came to Vijayanagar with a mysterious sari in her hand. She went to King Krishna Devaraya's palace and in the court, she said, Rajan, I have come up with a wonderful sari which can be invisible. With this material, you can hide your army from enemies. If you order us to make more for an exchange of gold, we can make it for you in a year. Krishna Devaraya got excited and he agreed. Because, if this sari can actually hide, you from the army of enemies, then who wouldn't want it? As a ruler, he probably wants it, isn't it? So the lady left the place with lots of gold in her hand. After 1 year, the king was waiting for his order of invisible material, but the lady did not turn up. King ordered his men to go and check. The workers went to the lady's working place and told her to reach the palace as quickly as possible. Now the king is all excited. He wants to see this invisible sari, but this lady is not at all coming up. And he was kind of getting worried and he wanted the men to go and check up on her. It's just going on. What's going on? I probably would like to know. Like that, he went to check on this lady, asked his men to go and check on this lady, whether she's working on it or not. What's going on? Just find out like that. And now what is happening? The lady came up with an empty box and said to the king that this is the invisible material. Krishna Devaraya wondered and told her why this material is not visible in hand also. And how can he check if there is really a sari or not? The lady smartly answered that only a man with a true heart can see it. Tenali Raman was there and he was listening to all this talk. And suddenly he said, Rajan, I can see this invisible material. It is true. But for an assurance of our army, the lady should wear the sari and show us how to get invisible. The lady got tensed. She immediately told the truth to the king and promised to return all the gold. The king appreciated Tenali Raman's cleverness. Oh my God. How is that Tenali Raman is actually exhibiting his cleverness here? Anybody? Ryan, do you want to try?
Well, Mataji.
What is this, Ryan? Ryan, how old are you?
7.
Oh, 7. Okay. I asked you this question. How did Tenali Raman exhibit his intelligence by asking this lady to wear this invisible sari? What is the intelligence there? How is it that he's showing his intelligence there? Any
No.
answer? Okay. So let me ask some elder person, okay? And you can hear from them. Okay, anybody with a raised hands to want to try and tell this? Who wants to try? Nobody wants to try? Kabir.
Janaki.
Oh, Janaki wants to try. Go ahead, Janaki.
Janvi.
Janvi, I'm sorry. Janvi, I'm so sorry, dear.
He had smarted the lady by telling her to wear the sari because that lady didn't actually make the sari. She just wanted to take the gold from the king. And so he told her to wear it, but there wasn't any sari, so she couldn't wear it.
Yeah, so imagine if she were to wear that invisible sari, then she'd probably be naked, right? I mean, that's kind of why she got scared and tense in the first place. So this is how he tricked her, because this can't be practically done. This cannot be done. And so we understand this situation also. Tenali Raman used his intelligence. So with this, we can conclude today's session, kids. I know you all are so good in different things. I should just get inspiration from all of you who are all here, who are all elevated. And I'm so blessed to even be teaching here to all of you, okay? So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to even be able to teach you. And I really loved interacting with all of you. So thank you so much, dear kids, for making. I really love to give Govinda classes. Somehow I'm getting excited and all prepped, and really excited to come on Thursdays and give you a session. So I really appreciate all your time and all your attentive listening. Thank you so much, dear kids. I appreciate the wonderful drawing, and both by Radha and by Srija. And then we have Param writing so much notes. I'm definitely inspired seeing that. And all you kids, I know each and every one, Smriti, Mukund, Ram, Ramachandra, Kushi, Rai Prahlad, Ryan, Vrinda. And Vrinda also had a write-up, right? Bhakti Yoga write-up. So yeah, so you all are attentively listening. Thank you so much for that. And Mukund, you have a raised hand. Any questions, dear, before we adjourn?
Mataji, I wanted to say that Param is our family friend, and,
Uh-huh.
and in his congregation, he already gave 3 classes.
Oh my goodness. Param.
1 hour classes.
Oh, he had what? He gave what?
He gave 3 1-hour classes.
3 1-hour classes? Oh my goodness. You are definitely something else, Param.
What
Thank
happened,
you.
Mataji? Can you repeat that, Mukund? I could not hear.
He gave 3 1-hour classes, Mataji, Param.
Oh, wow. Wow, very nice. Okay, wait for the day. We will also listen. We are going to start Sunday presentations again back in Govinda and Damodar. We'll be waiting to hear from Param.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, kids. Let's all adjourn for today. Vansha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to assembled kids. Thank you so much.
Hare
And
Krishna.
thank you, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Hari Hari. Hare
Radhika Kasturi Mataji
Krishna
ki jai. All Govinda kids ki jai.
Jai.
Hari bol. Closing the
Vinita
call.
Gandharvika Mataji
Bye-bye.
ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Bye-bye.